No German has ever owned an English football club.
Ja.
Oh well, there's a first time for everything.
Immer das erste Mal.
It is a working class city, there's not a lot of money, so there's a lot of local pride in their football club.
We know exactly what we want, to become one of the great working class clubs in England, to fight against the big boys with our resources. I hope it'll all be crowned with glory.
Come on, lads! Drive each other on, come on!
You can't invest in football without it being part of your heart because it's too emotional. You know, we don't make mobile phones, we don't make computer screens, we make football matches happen.
Bradford were in the Premier League from 1999 to 2001, so there's no reason why we can't go on to achieve the same.
This city is good enough and big enough, and the football club's big enough to be playing in the Premier League.
I think it's also a kind of lesson in life. We're embarking on a journey, and we don't know where it's going to end.
So a very good evening to you. Hope you're well and having a good day. We're fully focused on Bradford City tonight. We're joined live in the Record Cafe. Big warm welcome to one of the two new owners at Bradford City. It is Edin Rajic, ladies and gentlemen.
When we first heard that there were going to be German investors, I suppose we were shocked, surprised, excited at the same time.
Just give us a chance. We are direct and open and transparent, so we don't like any hidden agenda and blah, blah, blah. So we just tell what we think, and we have a strategy of a long-term project.
But the club is moving on, and as fans looking forward to a very exciting year and hopefully a little bit of money spent as well to get some players in and maybe even some from Germany, who knows.
We really worked hard, and James supported us in the whole stuff to get into the club, and I'm really exciting, and we are looking forward to win the game on Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, Edin Rajic.
We've been kind of caught up in this media frenzy. I wasn't expecting it at all. The press kept getting in touch and they'd say, some Germans are buying an English football club. They're not even known in the football world in Germany. What are they playing at? Why are they doing it? There was suddenly a huge interest in the club.
You've seen a lot of foreign ownership in English clubs, and a lot of it is, you know, they want instant success. It doesn't happen. It all goes, you know, sour very quickly.
It's really cool to be able to combine emotions and business. Football has always given me the most fun in life, and it still does, and I know a bit about football. I used to play football. I was very talented as a youngster. I got selected for Baden-Württemberg, and then I injured my ankle. So then my career was over at the age of 21, and I had to concentrate on my professional life. I graduated with 2 degrees and went on to work in accounting, where I learnt the ins and outs of financial departments. I eventually became the financial director of a medium-sized company before deciding to return to football to lay the groundwork for living my dream. This map plays a major role. It was where the whole dream and the whole project started. I was looking for areas where there was a large number of derbies and some good academies. I tried to find a club with a great fan base. plus the chance to get hold of talented players from larger academies. So what I always call the North Belt, from Everton and Liverpool to Hull, was an ideal area. We ended up finding Bradford City.
BBC Radio Leeds understands the German consortium will pay £6 million for a 100% buyout of Bradford City. The consortium is led by Edin Harrick and Stefan Rupp, and they've been in talks with the current owners for over a year.
When I got into football, my aim was to manage the operational side of things in a managerial position and bring in an ideally suited partner. I conducted interviews in Munich with potential investors. Many of them thought I was crazy, but most of them didn't understand that you can run a football club like a business.
Good morning, Edin. Yes, fine, thank you.
I'm not in this to lose money. I put most of what I had and have into the club. That's why I wanted to find a partner who wasn't just going to waste his money either.
Edin Reich
and I have the same bank consultant. And at some point he called me and said, "You know Edin Reich, you know about his plans." "Yes," I said. "He's been toying with the idea of buying an English football club for several years now." "That's right," he says. "And he's further along the road in his plans now, and he's looking for a partner." Then he said, "I thought I'd call you because I couldn't think of anyone else who'd be crazy enough to invest their money in a project like that, other than you."
Stefan thought it was a cool idea because it's a different kind of investment, and I sold it to him so emotionally. He says I also sold the project as a business, and he thought that was interesting.
I was aware from the very start that a football club doesn't give you a great return on investment. But it's obviously a whole lot of fun compared to other investments. That's the real bonus here. It certainly never gets boring.
So it looks like being the end of an era for Bradford City. After almost 5 years in charge, manager Phil Parkinson is expected to be unveiled as the new manager of Bolton Wanderers.
Phil Parkinson, decided that his future lay elsewhere at Bolton Wanderers. It was certainly very difficult for the fans because it was a shock. It was a bolt out of the blue.
I was in Germany at the time and I heard about it from Adi over the phone. Stefan, fuck, we don't have a manager anymore. And we don't have a team either. 15 players had left the club, and it was just 8 weeks until the start of the new season. To be completely honest with you, that did get us sweating a little.
Of course, it left Stefan and Edin's investment very vulnerable at the time when we hadn't got any season tickets on sale. We hadn't secured all our sponsors for the following season. Yeah, I think it could have been described as a nightmare start for them, and something they couldn't have probably ever imagined.
Really pisses you off when something like that happens, but you just have to let it all out for 15-20 minutes, and then you've got no time for that. You have to think it through. What's the next step? What can I do to solve the problem?
Edin then came up with the idea of having a look to see if any of Bradford's heroes from the past were available. And that led us, relatively quickly, to Stuart McCall.
Bradford City have at last confirmed today, officially, that Stuart McCall is their new manager, replacing recently departed Phil Parkinson.
He pretty much learned to play football here at Bradford. He was here when they got promoted to the Premier League.
The first time Bradford had been in the top league, and it was just incredible for the city, for the club, for everybody. And I stayed in an area between Leeds and Bradford, and Leeds is a big club. And that summer, instead of just looking and seeing boys running around with Leeds tops on, lots of them had Bradford tops on, and it was great to see.
Pass straight through now, forget the 1-2, just pass it straight through.
I think Stuart was a popular choice. He's a successful person to connect with a club. If we can get a team together to have a bit of success, it would be a great decision.
There we are.
Was mentioned today.
Yeah.
You were saying, because he's a bit older, is he fit? Now you can see how fit he is. Quick. There he goes. He can't score from here. No, he's in the box.
Yeah. We
got started 6 weeks after everyone else, and with only 8 players on the books, we had to start looking for available players. There are reasons why certain players are out of contract, and we had to find the right ones from a very small selection.
His clips are good. You know, his clips show a lot of good points. He's probably quicker than I was, which is a good thing. All right? He's very quick. Very quick. Yeah, very quick. I first got the call off James Mason via Reading to say, do you know anybody that knows the league, League One and the area and the club? And I think James put my name forward, and I was due to have my first 4 days holiday in over 12 months. And on the first day, Edin says, can you come back? I want to meet you. So reluctantly I agreed to come back. My wife, or girlfriend as she is, as she was then, you know, is a little bit upset. But it's football, so you do it. This is what he's good at. He competes, he never gives you a moment's breath. Strong.
In Greg Abbott, we have a wonderful chief scout.
And have you spoken with the agent, or?
Yeah, I spoke to the agent. He likes the thought of our club.
He knows English football like the back of his hand. He also knows countless agents and knows exactly how things work here. He makes sure I avoid making any blunders.
You must be very sure then.
Oh, yeah, I'm very sure, yeah, because you shout at me when I'm wasting money, so I don't want to waste too much money and have my ears burnt all the time. The pressure's on because the club will only have an amount of money that they can generate, and then the money that the investors invest, that is all the monies that we've got, so we can't spend more than that. So we have to make good decisions to get value for money.
The tension leading up to the first game is huge. Expectations are pretty high given the short time we've had to prepare. We're still a few players short too, so let's see what happens there.
Control to Northwest 1. You need to stop those kids playing football there, please.
I think every supporter of every club will think that their club is special. But I think peculiar to Bradford has to be where we come from. We're a working class town, we're a working class area. We've always been the poor relation to other clubs in that respect. We've always been the underdog.
Bradford City is the heart of this town, so our fans are the heart of Bradford City.
It is a big part of a lot of people's lives around here, and so it's, you know, it's what a lot of people live and breathe.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Welcome to Bradford. Thank you. Hope everything goes well for you, and thank you.
For us?
Yeah, for you. For us.
Yeah.
When I see how many generations come here, you've got grandfathers, fathers and sons coming to the game together. People come here to have fun.
First game. Brilliant for me too. It's also the first game for me. Hopefully we'll win today, huh? What do you think? Nice to meet you.
It's really close to the people's hearts. It's an integral part of their social lives, and you really have to respect that.
Good luck for us, huh?
Thank you, yeah. Okay.
I'll see you later anyway. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey again, how are you doing? All right.
Hey, hello, Stefan.
Okay. You new overowner? Nice to meet you.
At the end of the day, we're outsiders. Edin and I aren't from Bradford. But I think we have enough empathy to understand the various sensitivities.
There is only one chance for first impression. So, let's go out there, yeah? Let's impress the audience, let's impress the opponents, and at least let's impress yourselves.
The first issue we had to deal with was the ticket prices, which we immediately froze, because we want the fans to still be able to afford to come. We've already sold 17,000 season tickets. That's an unbelievable show of trust from the fans in the new owners, the new management and the new team.
We're off, we're underway. Bradford City kicking things off. And Nathaniel Knight-Purcell with a long ball forward. Hansen heads on, but it can't get to.
Now we have obligations to fulfil. We have to deliver.
Right time, and James Hansen puts the pressure on Street and wins a throw. They're looking decisively shaky, Paul Vale, in these early exchanges. Bradford have really put the pressure on them.
When you've got 17,000, 18,000 supporters, the expectations are very big. And it's something to relish, not fear. Don't look at the crowd and 18,000 because people go in the shells. Go and embrace it, enjoy it. This is what football's about.
Bradford on the attack with Nicky Law, still down that right side. Gets a good cross in, over Hansen and Anik's head, and goes out for a goal kick, inches away from 1-0.
I would like every Saturday after the whistle goes that the people get off the seats, they go home and think, I want to get back there next week. So we need to win games, but it's nice to do it that the supporters leave with a smile on their face.
It's been a very good performance from the Bantams so far. Vince-Lock with the header, but Forrester brings it forward for the visitors, trying to play in for Pereira, shoots just wide. Oh, that was inches wide from Paul Vale, but that's the full-time whistle. It's 0-0, the full-time score.
0-0 ist einfach kein gutes Gefühl als Ergebnis.
A 0-0 doesn't feel good. I'm pretty disappointed. Although it's a relief we didn't lose. A fairly average start, yep. But as you can see, I'm still pretty disappointed. Any more questions?
I think with any new ownership, there's going to be changes. So Bradford City, it is new. It's different to how it's been in the past.
There's a European strategy there, and there's a British mentality there, and slowly but surely, it's coming together.
Oh, wow, what's that? Where have you bought it from? Oh, has your wife made it?
No, it was from my brother. Try this one.
Is that like Bosnian food?
No, German one.
I work every day with Edin. We're like a married couple already now. We argue, we get on, we're both learning from each other. That's been an interesting 6 months. Well, it's like a pie, isn't it?
No, I'm joking.
The culture here is so different. The clubs in England are steeped in tradition. They have such rich histories. You can't compare it to German clubs. The emotion and the fans' passion over generations is not comparable.
When I was 11, I decided that I wanted to watch football. So I persuaded my dad, who had no interest in sport whatsoever, to take me to watch Bradford City, and I've been hooked ever since.
Support the local team is important, because I think sometimes, especially with the younger generation, they like supporting the big clubs, but then they wouldn't ever get an opportunity to meet the players or go to every single game if they couldn't afford it.
Every game we get the programme signed. We try to get like all the players, but some players don't come. And that's it.
It's a family club. Everybody makes you feel welcome when you come. And it just bites. You go watch Bradford City and you don't want to go anywhere else.
The German owners, they've come in, the season ticket price stayed the same. You know, they've brought in the football we're playing is a lot better. It's been good so far. Long may it continue. You know, hopefully we'll get into the Championship this season, then consolidate in there for a few seasons.
I've never been driven by financial matters. Getting to the Premier League is what I'd call success, and the rest will see to itself. The incentive is to create a structure and forge a plan to get us there.
What's that?
Yeah, I've given it my spreadsheet. I just need...
A football club is no different to a company. Here we have a medium-sized company with around 60 employees, 25 of whom are down on the pitch. Then you have a product that you sell. And here, that's the football that's played out there. The systems and structures are very similar to those of a medium-sized company.
OK, then. OK, there's just... Alan's not replied to me, but there's... Right, 5478.
I started here in September 2001.
All right, love, thank you.
So I've been here 16 years. My job entails operational stuff on a match day and looking after the players, which is my main job. Working with a player entails everything from the minute that they sign, or before they sign, if they come on trial, I meet them, take them to the training ground, and then getting them settled, getting the signings done.
Is that right?
Because you're with that player from the minute he arrives at the club, you know, you're with him, you get to know him, you're the mum, you're the, you know, like a second mum to him, you're on call, every night, you know, you'll get texts about this, texts about that. Anything they need, they come to me. So I think that's where the emotional is the, you know, the attachment to the players. Somebody once described my job as a keeper of all secrets.
There are subtle changes, but not any huge, big changes. The staff are pretty much all the same. Most of our sponsors we've maintained. So the main changes really are just Edin being in the business full time. You know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, fully immersed in it.
That's the business side and that's the normal. That can't work. That must be top.
Yeah.
I worked more closely with Edin than I did with the other chairman because they were more relaxed. Whereas Edin is more involved.
But once more, do me a favour, speak together about it, because you know, for example, you spoke with a company, I don't know, and you know...
Edin didn't make himself popular to begin with. Some of the employees are still having a tough time, because Edi, he asks about everything. He wants to know all the details. He doesn't just ask about the status of something, he also wants to know how things work, how people work.
Wie arbeitet ihr?
Was he at Leeds United with you, Greg?
After me.
After you?
I don't think I've ever been asked as many questions as I've been asked with Edin.
He wants to know the detail of every football transaction, every football decision, as well as the bigger business decisions.
Bei uns tickt die Uhr anders.
We do things differently, and we have to get that across step by step. If you give everything for the club, if you're fair to the club, you'll always have my support. And if you start doing your own thing, like you did before perhaps, then we have a problem.
Haben wir ein Problem. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Edin.
You right?
Yeah. Just got a heads up on a striker that we haven't seen before. Just having a look, see what he's...
What's the name?
He looks all right. Tom Boer.
Tom Boer?
Yeah. Holland, League 2, but he scored a boatload of goals.
League 2 is not that good.
In Holland?
No.
Ultimately, Edin's made it clear that he'll have an influence in players we bring in. It almost makes it easier for me, because if Edin brings in the wrong player, he stands and takes responsibility.
What's the status of the other? Of Charlie Wyke from Carlisle?
The fee is the fee, what I've told you, it's a lot of money. So, really, you and Stefan need to get your heads together to say, do we have a limit? Do we have a ceiling of how much we want to go to and leave it at that and wait for the right time to submit that bid? Because if we submit a bid early, it might just alert everybody else.
So let's sit together tomorrow with James and...
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think we should do that and discuss the 3 or 4 players.
Yeah.
He's very methodical, very structured. Eddie wants to do everything yesterday. You know, it's nothing is for tomorrow. It's almost now or even before now, which is obviously impossible. And I just say, slow down, let's do it at the right time. If we go rushing in, it might cost you more money and it might alert more people. There's a time and a place and a strategy to everything we do. And he's realising that, but he's very, very impatient at times with his ambition.
Edin's taken on an insanely big risk by investing all the money he had into this project. He upped sticks in Germany and moved here with his family. But Edin is living his dream right now.
It doesn't matter what your dream is. The main thing is you have one and you know how to get there. There are many highs and lows. It's not all roses, but the decision was 100% the right one. So what am I risking if it all goes down the pan? I'll still be healthy, thank God. My family will still be fine. We'd just have to start from scratch again. I'd have to move out of my house and into a flat. I've lived my dream, irrespective of whether it works out, I've done it. And as we only live once, I'm going to see it through. And my motto is always, as long as the fridge is full, all is well.
Football isn't my only passion. I compete in a car racing championship called German Touring Car Classics. And I'm also very ambitious and committed when it comes to racing. Last year I came second in the German championships. So I love driving fast, and I'm fascinated by the technology. It's always such a bella macchina. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. I studied in Landshut, and in 2006 I bought a company that produced helicopter seats, along with two partners. We developed the company very successfully over the next 8 years. And when we sold it in 2014, we were one of the top players in the international market for crash-proof helicopter seats. After selling the helicopter seats company, I'd never have dreamt of investing all my money in a football club. If you take on a certain level of risk, whether that's as a businessman or a sportsman, you do so with the sole thought of winning. Coming second is being the best of the losers. Personally, I never liked the whole Olympic idea of the most important thing is not to win, but to take part. Because, I mean, that's a load of rubbish. I really think we're going to be successful. Definitely. Because Edin's a fighter. And he won't give up before he's reached a certain goal. And I'm exactly the same.
Stefan was initially more the investor type, but now he's poured his heart and soul into it. And that makes me proud that I've got him to the point where I can say he's almost like me. I think if he were to live here in England, he would sit next to me at my desk and we'd storm the league.
The biggest change of Bradford City has probably been the approach in terms of the manager-chairman relationship. The German idea of the sporting director is something that's sort of not common in England, and it's viewed with suspicion, any mention of director of football, and there's a lot of supporters sort of think, you know, it's a bit of a strange scenario.
I think actually just going down to team selection and formation should be left with the manager, because it's him who works with the players day in, day out. So it is different, and you know, at times I've found it difficult, because I've always, in the 3 clubs I've managed, I've you know, brought the players in. I've worked with the players as the coaching staff, all scout players, and the other owners, chairman, have let me get on with my job in dealing with the footballers.
Over there are managers who see their chairman maybe twice a year. It's a little different in Germany, where you have a head coach and a sporting director and a chief executive. And that's pretty much the division of power that we want to install here. I think it's the same as with any other company, in that certain things don't go as you imagined they would. And that's true here at Bradford. Here I have a coach who's perhaps not so open to advice. But you also have to understand his role. In England, the manager's a coach, sporting director and chief scout rolled into one. He's pretty much omnipotent, and that's precisely what we don't want. Sometimes we have to kick some people up the bum a bit. That's how it is with us, and if you want to manage our team, you have to come to terms with that.
Turn left after 400 yards onto the A58 towards Rochdale.
Then we found out about something that we're not too happy about. A sort of company within a company has been developing here over the years. In recent years, everyone's got used to taking their cut to a certain degree. And we won't stand for that. Of course, it takes some time to realize exactly what's going on. And it's not too great. And that means in the next 3 to 6 months, we're likely to see some personnel changes in several positions. Personnel changes we need to make to close down this company within the company.
Hi there. Hey. Hey. Right.
Mr. Chairman, welcome back. Number 1. How you doing? You okay?
Fine, thank you. How are you guys?
Safe trip?
Yeah, it was a long journey.
I met a number of investors and partners. Strangely enough, it was clear from the very start that if I could choose who I wanted, it would be someone like Stefan Rupp. He's structured, he knows what he wants, he's clever, highly experienced, and he's emotional. Just like a football club.
Genau wie ein Club.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
As I said, Stuart isn't used to having to share the responsibility. And we don't know each other well enough yet. None of us do. It does sometimes kick off, but everyone needs to be able to express their opinion openly. Then we go our separate ways and everything's fine again. And we've come to a decision together.
There's a lot of change and a lot of things that are different to me, but I'm more than open and to welcome them in, because we've got to have a little bit of, you know, difference of opinion at times. But obviously with Edin, he wants a little bit more say, which is understandable. It's his football club along with Stefan, and we have to work more as a team.
I can see something's growing here. If you reach out to people, I mean, it's nothing to do with sporting expertise or anything. I'm not part of that side of things at all. I don't have to make any football decisions. I leave that to others at the club. I just have to make sure that the management team works as a team. Wow, Moraes is looking good.
He's the best in training.
Yeah, the mood's great. As I said, I just had a little chat with Stuart before. It's ultimately about getting to know each other and developing that mutual trust. I read that the half-life of a manager in League One is just 10 months. How are you supposed to have long-term goals like that? You can't. A medium-sized company develops strategies over 10, 15, 20 years.
Sure, it's completely different.
Exactly, and that's what makes us stand out from the rest.
For us, it's important, if we look at it as a business model, to develop, buy and sell players. We want to have a manager who can improve the players we have. But if the manager or head coach also has to deal with agents and contracts, he can't really concentrate on team development. He's only worried about one thing, promotion. But for us, we need both. You need that foundation of having players with resale value. That's how our business model works, and in my opinion, it's the only way we can be successful.
Meiner Meinung nach haben wir Erfolg.
Stefan, sorry, this is... I think Eddie's already seen the boy. This is the boy Samuel. He's playing in the Championship, a league above us. This is only a month ago. He's just an all-round good striker, I think. Young, hungry. Oof. Gets his goals. I think he's 1 in 2.5 at this level. Good age. I think he'll improve, and he's one that you could make better and sell on for a profit, I would think.
The current situation, we now have an official bid from Sheffield United for James Hansen, one of our promotion heroes, a rival from League One.
That gives us the opportunity, of course, to have a look at who's available in the market and who suits our game.
The offer for James Hansen is acceptable, to be fair. The contract runs out in 6 months.
Yeah, this is what I already told you.
And if you strengthen your competitor, okay, it can be, you have pros and cons, but if you strengthen them, to be fair, it's the best team in the league.
You could put forward 1,000 arguments of why we should let him go and 1,000 counter-arguments. The fans will see it the same way. If we were to ask the fans, a lot of them would say, no, he was our hero. And others would say, yeah, it's time to let him move on.
We have the chance to sell one, yeah, and to get a better one for it, yeah. So why not do it?
No, but we need to be clear that on the day we sell Hansen, we have to
sign this guy.
We have to sign on the same day. Simple as that. Yeah. But in the moment we say we sold Hansen, and they would say, "Are you crazy? We are looking for a striker, and now we are one striker more short. So there's nowhere near to do it. We have to do it on the same day."
I totally understand when somebody's out of his contracts if you're getting, you know, a reasonable amount of money for it. But again, we've said before, going back to the old adage, if we don't strengthen, you'll be open to a heck of a lot of criticism.
No,
obviously.
we definitely strengthen. Yeah. I would never sell somebody without having a better replacement. Yeah. So we want to reinforce the squad and not and not weaken ourselves.
Yeah.
We have an incredible squad, but this is certainly not enough to get promoted. So we have to really reinforce our offense department.
Yeah. Yeah. It won't be as easy as that, but
I'm willing to invest. I have already parked the funds.
No matter what you do, half of the people will think it's the right decision and the other half won't.
You can do everything here and we can agree and we say, yeah, we'll take that and we get that. And we go to James and James goes, do you know what, I enjoy it here. I want a chance to get promotion and then I'll decide in the summer where I go. Very small % chance that could happen, but it is also another thing that you factor into football. We cannot make players' decisions for them. We can't dictate where a player goes. That's the bottom line.
No, but we can try.
Hello, welcome along to TV Yorkshire. It's that time of the week again to have a look at all of the Yorkshire action here on the Yorkshire Football Show. First off, I want to talk about James Hansen, because it looks like he's on his way out of the club. Well, it pretty much is, to be honest. I think by the time this is edited and gone out, it's probably already happened.
It is a big call, James Hansen moving to Sheffield United, because he has been such a key part of the fabric of Bradford City in the recent seasons. He was probably the poster boy of the team, and he's been sort of synonymous with the way Bradford City have played. It's all been around James Hansen, and he's the first name on the team sheet. But you've got to replace him with a player of equal calibre in terms of goals and in terms of price value.
There are rumours that Sheffield United have submitted a bid for James Hansen. This morning, James Hansen knocks on the manager's door and says he's received an offer from Sheffield United, and that he doesn't want to get injured in training on Friday or in the game on Saturday. What's the manager supposed to do? We obviously have to say he can't train because his head's been turned, and if his head's been turned, he can't play on Saturday either because he's not going to give 100%. So we're forced to look at Sheffield United's offer, as the player already seems to have decided that he wants out. But none of the fans know anything about it.
In a world of football that's all about money and all the rest of it, we're talking about rags to riches story. This is disgraceful.
They do not. They have such short-term memories, because James Hansen, he is the reason why they are where they are in League One.
People think Sheffield United contacted us, we're forcing him out. That's not true. They think the club has a choice in the matter. If an employee doesn't want to be here, then go.
This industry, I learned a lot from you and from you. Everyone plays hardball. You can't just walk away getting paid and you haven't played.
Yes, you're right, today's been a shit fucking day. But what he's done over the last 6 years can't be disregarded. And to do that, and that gets out to our fans, that we've stopped his salary for January. It will get out, Eddie.
It's not...
It will get out.
The moment a player thinks he has a better offer from another club, he doesn't care about what the club has done for him over the years, nor about what he's achieved at the club. During those moments, players are totally selfish.
Let's do it down on a Friday morning. His son, so to say, right? He has transferred him. You said the players are selfish, yeah. Today was very selfish.
100% I would have played.
Yeah, but I'm also selfish. I take care about my club. And he said, fuck off, I will go. Give me all the payments I receive.
Listen, what could he have done differently? He could have just fucking played. That's what he could have done, like I would have done.
Come on Monday morning and
said, I'm going after the game, but you need me. The deal's not going to get done. It's not complete. I've not had a medical. I've not agreed terms. I'm a Bradford City player. I'm going to wear that shirt with pride today. I'm going to fucking run my tits off. We're going to win the game. And he goes away a hero.
James Hansen, he might be frightened of playing tomorrow against Millwall and getting injured. So and especially against Millwall, because Millwall are a big physical team and we need James Hansen in the team. But we made a decision. It's a shame, because if he'd have got told after the game, it'd have been better. But because he's aware of it now, we made a decision not to involve him. But hopefully we can still get the right result.
To follow Bradford City.
West Yorkshire Sport, BBC Radio Lead.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Northern Commercial Stadium at Valley Parade, where it's become a fortress, hasn't it, for Bradford City in recent months. Unbeaten here in a regular league game since Tuesday the 1st of March. Only 2 teams have actually beaten them in that run. Thank you.
How do you think you're going to play today?
Hopefully we're going to play well.
Fingers crossed. What do you think the score's going to be?
Oh, I can't guess the score, but hopefully it's a win for us.
Yeah. Let's say good luck.
See ya, thank you.
Bye.
I know what to expect from Millwall today. We have to be ready for the fight. They're a strong group of players, always fully committed, and we have to counter that. We have to match them physically, and we have to attack. We don't want to draw against Millwall. We want to win the game.
Wir wollen das Spiel gewinnen.
No one expected us to still be in 4th place after Christmas. We played some fantastic football over the first half of the season, but we scored too few goals. We're top of the table in England in terms of draws, which is good, because a draw is not a defeat, but it's not a win either.
Where we are at the moment, realistically, we have a chance of being in the playoffs. And it's difficult because we have to manage expectations, because from the start of the season when we're up in the top two for such a long period and doing really well, everybody gets carried away and thinks it's going to be easy, we're going to win the league, and it's not quite as simple as that.
If we've won, it's been an amazing week. If we've lost, it was bad. But that can all change the following Saturday. How does a chairman feel after a game like that? If you hate draws, it's obviously not good. It feels like the 100th draw. And well, a draw gets you nowhere. You either win or lose, or we're just getting too many draws to entertain thoughts of competing with those at the top. Terrible day.
It's Monday morning now, so what we do is all the kit gets washed from Saturday, which takes about 4 or 5 hours. That's all the sweat tops. Yeah. Right, because we need them up next. And I think that's about it down here, because it's not just only the players. We've got 8 staff travelling, so it's exactly the same with staff. We've got to get all that washed from Saturday, so it is a very intense job sometimes. So number 19 missing.
Yeah, and 11, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 2 blank pair, I do believe. I've been here 11 years working as kitman. So obviously I've supported Bradford for over 50 years as well. So after the summer when the manager went and he took all the staff except for me, so he mustn't like me. So it's like anything, if you get a change in a company, at the beginning it's strange, but once you get used to it, it's not a problem. Have you got one?
No.
Janice?
I'm still looking.
Roger, as you can see, because of the high winds that we've experienced recently, it looks like certainly one panel's completely broken off.
Yeah.
And the big concern is that it was during the week, which is lucky because it landed about 3 or 4 rows back of the Midland Road stand, which, should we've had any fans in there at the time, would have been difficult.
Right.
Imagine if that was to happen on a match day. You know, it's serious. We could injure someone, we could go as far to killing someone if that happened. You know, we've met with the insurance brokers to see if we can get that repaired under our insurance premiums. If not, if it costs £1,000, £2,000, £10,000, that comes off the playing budget. So all these things are connected. You know, why can't we get a new striker in? Why can't we get that player in? Because we have a finite amount of money, and when that money's gone, it's gone. Most fans just think, I wake up on a Monday morning and think, right, how can I screw things up this week? So that can be frustrating at times, but equally very rewarding when, you know, we get it right and the fans that have given us time and patience can see that it was the right decision that was only made to benefit the football club, and that's our only interest. It's not about Stefan Rupp, it's not about Edin Rahic, it's not about Stuart McCall or Greg Abbott or James Mason. It's about Bradford City.
So let's see then what the Germans are going to do. We are not scoring goals.
Paul says they're looking for 1 or 2 attackers before the closure of the transfer window.
I think they need someone a bit different to a James Hansen now.
Yeah.
But
trust this much more sophisticated board than many in League One to have an idea up their sleeves. They'll be up to something.
There he is. Wow. I like that as a number 9 goal.
Left foot, right foot, header.
Yeah. Strong in the air, gets across the front of people, but he also scores with his feet. And he also...
So there's a risk, isn't it?
There's always a risk because he's only scored goals in League Two. I mean,
but to be brave enough to pay 250,000.
Yeah,
in a winter period, you know, don't forget. It's not a summer period.
It's a lot of money.
Period, yeah.
It's a lot of money. For that level, is a lot of money, but we'll get our money back, I think, on this one.
Carlisle from League Two wanted £250,000 for Charlie Wyke. And the funny thing about the whole situation was that no clubs from the Premier League or the Championship League were willing to take a punt on him at that price. They were all scared. Is he up to expectations?
I think the risk gets less the more goals you scored. He's scored 30 goals in his last 60 games. So for me, Eddie, you've got to look what James Hansen's done and what he's likely to do, and you've got to look what Charlie Wyke has already done and what Charlie Wyke is likely to do. Now, at his age, just turning 24, I think there's a lot to come. Well, I would recommend that we say to Stefan, this is money well spent, and be really positive about it. But again, here, he's the first to react. There's his goal. There's his goal from 2 yards out. I like that one.
The final decision as to whether we buy him or not was mine. And in this case, I said, OK, we'll buy him.
Make sure you get your rest, guys. Keep working around clockwise, yeah?
Season Bradford City signed striker Charlie Wyke from Carlisle, and Wyke arrives following a prolific first half to the season for Carlisle, having scored 18 goals.
As soon as I found out Bradford were interested, I really wanted to come to the club. I knew everything about the club, and obviously with the new owners and new manager, I think they're going to build something really special.
2, 1, 20 seconds there. Talk. Good.
You don't always get owners of football clubs who are on the same level and discuss football with such passion like Eden did. It was something what impressed us, and then obviously impressed Charlie, so he decided to join the club.
30 seconds to go. Come on.
I met Charlie on the deadline day. You know, I said to Eddie, I said, we're going to be all right with this one because he's the right type of character. The fans will like him. And I watched his first day's training. And that's when I had a discussion with Kenny Black, the assistant manager. Said to Kenny, what do you think? He said, well, what do you think? I said, well, I think he looks the real deal.
He's got pace. Can he play for Charlie Wyke? He can. Wyke shoots. Saved by the keeper. It goes in. Larger gets a cross in. There's the header. Charlie Wyke on debut has leveled cross in. There's a header. Yes! Charlie Wyke.
I'd not seen Charlie play. I'd seen him on DVDs. I wanted to go see him first, but I didn't because the James Hansen transfer happened so quick. But he's been absolutely terrific.
Towards the far post. There's the header again. Great header from Charlie Wyke.
He's been, you know, everything and more that we would hope.
Probably in hindsight, the deal was a good deal for everybody concerned. Nobody lost. Winners all round. James, Charlie, Sheffield United and Bradford. Carlisle were the losers, I have to say. There's not very often that can happen. There's only one loser. Unfortunately, it was Charlie's selling club because they've not, I don't think they've scored a goal for the last 7 games, which is unfortunate.
Good afternoon. Come on in. Come on in. Join the fun.
Right, let's put you up against the wall, firing line.
I think we've just got to fully focus on Friday. You know, we've got to go for it. We've got to try and get the 3 points at home.
Even if you do go down for whatever reason, it's important that you stay in the tie.
We want to collect the points that we need. We're desperate to be in those playoffs, obviously.
Just keep the run going. I think the performance has been good over recent weeks.
Our full focus is on Oxford, and I think what will be a bit 2 cracking atmospheres. I think we should have big crowds at both, but first games first, and Oxford's a key one for us.
West Yorkshire Sport.
BBC Radio Leeds.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Northern Commercial Stadium at Valley Parade as Bradford City look to go another 3 points closer to securing that playoff spot. They're in a great position at the moment. A win today would make a huge step towards securing that top 6 spot for certain sure.
The review of our season so far is that we started off with no manager and only 8 players, and now, 4 days from the end of the season, we're in a playoff place. It's unbelievable, really. And we've sold 17,500 season tickets. That's unbelievable too.
We could just as easily be 23rd now, fighting for survival.
Everybody connected to the club have all been in it together. It's been a team effort, and we've just got to keep going now. We can't rest. We need to finish strong as we can.
Owen, boys! Let's go. Come on, boys. Come on, then. Come on. Come on, lads. Damn each other on. Come on. It's there for you. Concentration.
Bradford City kicking off. Dawes throwing the ball out over arm, now Cullen forward. What a touch from Charlie White to take him away from Raglan, who will is in space, launches it. Oh, what a save from Simon Eastwood.
That's magnificent play.
That would have been goal of the season if that had gone in. Charlie White turning 30 yards out, hitting it on the...
We've put ourselves in a good position, but football can change so quickly.
Keeper manages to just punch it away above a crowd of players. The referee says it was all right.
Obviously the ambition and the aim is to make sure we're in one of them playoff places, either 3rd, 4th, 5th or 6th, come the last game against Rochdale.
And the referee, Richard Clark, blows the half-time whistle at Valley Parade.
Come on, Matt.
Yeah,
come on.
Listen, you know the stats yourself, I'm sure you do. Last 7 goals we've scored have been in the last 4 second-half games, OK? You know it's like when we're going down that end. Yeah, we need to be switched on defensively, but it's a tempo now, isn't it? Ball goes out, we're on it. We're going forward, we're getting up behind balls, we're getting tight with them, we're winning little nicks, whereas it's 50-50, we're nicking it. And when it's coming to you, Jordan, and you, Charlie, and you, Marsh, you're strong, right? We take fouls, you're strong. You turn them, and you're getting behind them. Energy, energy, energy. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on.
Tony McMahon towards the 6-yard box. There's the header, saved down low by Eastwood. Bradford fans ramping up the noise. They can sense that this is a big 3 points. Bradford attacking with intent as Marshall puts that cross in, looking for White, and Law! Nicky Law has tapped that one home for Bradford City. And the Bantams have the lead in this big match.
It would be a dream to help get this club out of this division and go to a higher division. But, you know, I think once you start dreaming, you lose your focus. So you just stick to what you can affect.
There we go. There it is. Arms in the air. It's a 3rd win in a row for the Bantams, and most importantly, it's another 3 points. It's Bradford City 1, Oxford United 0.
Playoff position. Are we going to do it or not?
The playoffs? Definitely.
We're going to get to Wembley.
We're going to get promoted. Sure.
I say we're going to Wembley, and he says we're going up.
And we're going to get promoted.
We're the perfect partnership.
We're all in the tunnel. We're ready. Let's go.
Ding. Yeah. See you in Championship next year.
Good morning. It's finally nice to see you.
I've worked here for, well, about 9 seasons, 2008. I come in on Friday and he said, do you think you could do out with this pitch? I says, well, yeah, I could turn it around. I mean, I've been trying ever since, but I'm getting there, slowly. And he says, right, you start on Monday, and that was my interview for the job, so, you know, and I'm still here, trying my best. The first time I come to the stadium, maybe 44, 45 years ago, maybe, and I snuck in over the wall. Second game, I come again, I sneaked in over the wall, got caught. The police caught me, took me in the old changing room, and it's there in the old building, the old jail, put me in the jail and took my picture. And I was only a boy again, I was crying. Says, oh, don't show me mum. Obviously, the stadium's changed a lot over the years. It were all stands, all wooden stands. As we know, we had the fire on May the 11th. I were here.
I was sitting about 3/4 of the way along the stand towards that end of the pitch, and I was with my father-in-law and my friend.
Let's get all those people out of there. Let's get those people. Just take your time. Don't rush. Go down there. Take your time.
And suddenly the corridor we were in was filled with smoke, and then the smoke went totally black and you couldn't breathe. Forever, those of us in Bradford will remember that 56 people died that day. But that means that nearly 4,000 people didn't. And some of that is because of the volunteers who pulled people out of the fire.
We all pulled together, you know, we all made it like a family club where everybody looked after each other, because it proved on that day that, you know, obviously life is far more important than a football match.
You don't realise until afterwards how much of an effect it had on the whole community, because obviously a lot of people have got very personal reasons for, you know, for the memories about the club. You know, it feels more than just a football club, it feels part of their life and part of their history.
I'm not late, am I?
You've
No.
got 3 minutes. Right, we can set off anyway once these are...
Okay.
Second leg of the playoff in Fleetwood. We won the first leg 1-0 at home on Thursday. Fleetwood have only given us 700 tickets. Our fans back in Bradford camped out by the stadium to get hold of tickets. Nonetheless, we're still very confident about today. The team knows what they can do, and they know they have a one-off chance on the 20th to get to the playoff final at Wembley.
How are we doing, boys?
BBC Radio Leeds.
Skipper Romain Vincelot says Bradford City must approach the second leg of their League One semi-final at Fleetwood this evening as if it was still 0-0. Bantams have a one-goal lead in the tie thanks to Rory McArdle's late header in the first leg.
Thank you very much.
I feel quite nervous. It's a big match. We've come a long way and we need to get at least a draw because the prize is a big one, Wembley.
I think it's going to be another tight game and I don't think there'll be more than one goal in it, but I don't think we'll lose and I think we'll be at Wembley. You don't know words?
We're on our way to the championship, we're on our way. How do we get there? I don't know. How do we get there? I don't care. All I know is City's on our way.
One thing that Bradford City fans do is, if the team goes one down, they don't despair, they shout even louder and get behind the team. So really good team spirit.
Oh yes. Come on, old lad. Come on.
Considering where we started and where we are now, the atmosphere around the club, the positive feedback from the fans and locals, it could hardly have gone better. The icing on the cake would be a Wembley final, of course. Well, promotion would be the absolute icing on the cake.
Tonight is the night for Bradford City. They come here with a 1-goal advantage. So can the Bantams secure a trip to Wembley for the first time since they won the League Two playoffs in 2013?
I'm excited. To lose to a team like this would be a disaster. We're clearly much better. We just need to stay cool.
We mentioned how sunny and warm it is. Bradford just pass it around, get Fleetwood running.
We have a great chance, and I believe in the betting odds. The bookies have us down as clear favourites to get promoted via the playoffs, and that would be just an unbelievable dream, an unbelievable end to an incredible first season.
My half-time thoughts were still 1-0 up on aggregate, but we need a second goal right after the restart. I think that'll seal the tie. Right, let's do it.
Law with a header. Down the right-hand side is Mark Marshall, taking it towards the byline, gets the cross in. White's up there, and it's just away from him. It's Charlie White, great ball, Josh Cullen, edge of the area, shoots low, and it's straight the keeper.
You know, it's a long season, it's a long, hard season. And as the song goes, it's not where you start, it's where you finish, which is the most important.
City are going to Wembley.
What we've experienced in our first year as the club's owners, that we're going to Wembley in our first season, it's really unbelievable. And I don't really know what to say right now.
It's just amazing, and it's all down to hard work and preparation. Wembley in our first season, incredible. What more could you ask for? Anything can happen in a game, but who cares? We did it. That's what matters.
Yorkshire! Yorkshire! It's wonderful! It's wonderful! Oh, West Yorkshire is wonderful!
What a day, what an occasion.
We've waited all season for this, and wow, nervous game, but we deserve to win over 2 legs, and we're at Wembley. Fantastic, can't wait. 20th of May, here we come. Come on, I said it. We're the famous Bradford City, and we're going to Wembley. Wembley, Wembley. We're the famous Bradford City, and we're going to Wembley. Come on, City! Wembley!
We have a huge opportunity to get promoted, and everyone needs to concentrate 110% on the task ahead. We need that feeling of togetherness, of being a team. That's the foundation for getting promoted.
We signed the purchase agreement to buy the club on the 20th of May 2016, and precisely 1 year later, on the 20th of May 2017, we're playing in the playoff final at Wembley, and that feels pretty surreal right now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, your captain speaking. Welcome you on board our Airbus 320 outside the London East Road.
We've gone from 0 to 100, and that's all down to the unbelievable efforts of everyone involved. The great thing is, we've got people believing in us. They see us as highly effective operators, and not as some, let's say, chancers who just bought a football club to see what it feels like to own one. 2 weeks ago, when I went to Fleetwood, I wasn't nervous at all, because of this good gut feeling I had. And funnily enough, I have that very same positive feeling in my stomach for tomorrow's game. I'm brimming with confidence.
24,000 Bradford City fans will be at Wembley for today's League One playoff final with Millwall. The winner will be promoted to the Championship for next season.
Our chairman is from Germany, and he was wearing his lederhosen. We said, if we get to Wembley, you could sell 20,000 of those. He said, would you wear them? And we said, yes, we wear them. So here we are. OK, boys, thank you.
Kedin and Stefan, they've just raised the spirits of the club. It's been a real privilege to know them and to see what they've done with the club there. So hopefully we'll have a great day today as well and just continue to be successful under their stewardship now.
Enjoy them, boys. Come on, guys. Cheers for the season. Everybody, you've been a credit. Looking round and seeing all the Bradford people, you know, and I get a lump in my throat. I know what this club means to everybody. And if we can finish off today, Stuart will be the most emotional man you'll ever see. And the fans have deserved the success that they crave for by supporting the team through every situation. So I apologise for being a little bit emotional myself, but this is massive for everybody connected to the football club. I'm a bit uptight today. I'm a bit uptight. I was never like that when I was playing. I have a haircut like yours as well. Hey, brilliant. Cheers, enjoy. Thank you.
For me, it's the toughest, most difficult and most unfair game in the entire season. It either goes your way or it doesn't. Like a carpet.
Yeah, I'm really impressed right now, and unbelievably proud and happy that we've made it here. We really are here.
Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming.
We're really here, and we're about to play in front of this incredible backdrop. This is the crowning glory, really, and finishing the job today really would be the crowning success. Let me call it a run of luck. If it continues, then we're definitely going to be in the Championship next season. But no one has a crystal ball, and it's all down to luck, timing, and performance on the day.
I'm always optimistic. I'm always glass three-quarters full. Because I've usually supped a little bit of it, you see, so can't be fully full.
Then next season's League One looks like it could be quite a tough one, but you've got that solid background in terms of the owners and the fact that they made it clear they're not going anywhere, that there's no timetable, which I quite like.
Over the coming days, we'll start to realise what a huge opportunity we've missed. And the most important thing is to feel that pain for 2, 3, 4 days, and then you draw a breath and continue onwards and upwards. But first you need to suffer.
And then we carry on.
That's right.
Yeah, sure.
Take care.
Okay.
Let's go back up.
This project, Bradford, will only be complete for me once we've achieved everything we set out to achieve. When we're playing in the Champions League, when we're champions of England, when we win the FA Cup and the Champions League, then I'll happily retire.